Alright everyone, we're back. And we're playing Rise of the Argonauts, which I have started a long time ago, but I never got out of the first location. So hey, if I end up not liking it, I'm not pursuing it further. But it's a game that has always intrigued me a lot, and that I don't want to not play. So let's do that. What's the title? Alright. So this is a ancient Greece Mass Effect kind of game. And it's an RPG. And being an RPG means, well, David can't really ignore it, can he? Let's start that new game. In all the world, what land is more blessed than Iolcus? Favored of Zeus himself, ours is a bountiful life. Sure. So you guys are probably familiar with the story of Jason and the Argonauts. This is that story, with some liberties. Story of the Golden Fleece.
This I vow to you. I will love you forever, in this life and the next. I promise you.
Jason.
I thought I said yes to subtitles though. Why would you ruin those boobs? It's a perfectly valid question.
training room!
Am I supposed to know what the training room is? But yeah, if you've never seen this game, well, you can see it now.
A sword!
Holy shit, I just sliced that guy in half? What the fuck? It's because you're a Greek god? Jason is not a...
Meet you at the front!
Jason is not a Greek god. Hercules is a demigod. Or demigod. But Jason is a human. They spare no expense on the blood. Yes. Can I pick up other weapons? No. It's not an action game.
He doesn't leave the room! Kill the king!
Where's my HP bar, though? CNN breaking news, Twitch streamer David CNN has 45 God of War games to play, but plays the generic store brand version of the franchise instead. But I like the story of the Golden Fleece, and this is an RPG. You'll see it's different from God of War.
King Jason!
That's a head. Where did the sword go? It's in his, it's still there. It's around his waist. Clearly, blunt force trauma is the way to go here. Clearly. I guess it's just showing me how to use every weapon.
Captain Idas! Protect the king!
He's a black tongue, Jason.
Stay here, Idas.
Leave me! You men, go with the king!
Your red shirts go with the king. Always. You always need some red shirts. Your sound keeps going away, then comes back. I don't think it's the stream's fault.
You're done.
I was trying to catch him, why'd you let him go?
Rise again. Jason, it's over.
What is this? It's God of War, Cyan. Don't you recognize it? It's Rise of the Argonauts. It's not really like God of War. It's just Greece too.
I won't let you go. I will find a way. Alcime. I won't let you go.
Can I pray to the gods?
Did I not do everything you asked of me? Why then? Here, of all places, on your sacred island, I do not accept it. If this is your will, I do not accept it.
Is anyone else's sound having trouble, or is everything okay? You're fine? Nope? Okay. When did this come out? 2009, I think?
Jason, your uncle was looking for you. He wanted to know when you planned to give last rites to Alcime.
If I send her spirit to the underworld, I'll never get her back.
Get her back? How?
I don't know how. I don't have the answers yet. But there must be a way.
I wish I had the answers to give you. But perhaps I know someone who could. Someone whose business is answers. The Oracle at Delphi.
Delphi?
If anyone would know, it would be her.
Yes, the Oracle. Master Argos finishes a great ship as we speak. It will serve.
Delphi's not easily found, it's said. Does he know the way?
I don't know, but I aim to find out. Come, we'll ask him ourselves.
Oh, remember, your uncle is ahead in the courtyard. He wanted to speak with you. I told him I'd let you know.
Jason's armor looks so stupid. Why? She's gonna rot on that slab. That is correct. Okay.
I wouldn't blame him if he didn't. He loves her so. That would be a reason for war, and you know it. King Jason, how can I express my sorrow?
Thank you for your sympathy.
My cousin and I were surprised to learn of the friendship between Hercules and yourself. How did you meet?
Iolcus is a land sacred to Zeus, Hercules' father.
Jason has been kind enough to offer his hospitality as the Warden of Zeus when I've come to visit.
That's another thing. This Warden of Zeus. What does that title mean?
All kings of Iolcus who complete the 5 trials of Zeus assume that title. In doing so, we swear to defend this land in the honor of Zeus against all threats. In some ways, it's a ceremonial title that reflects the strong attachment between Zeus and Iolcus.
But what does the Warden do exactly?
Warden of Zeus is charged with defending the island of Iolcus. We take a sacred oath to never leave this land once we pass our trials, and to be ever vigilant against any threat. In return, each warden earns Zeus's protection. No warden has ever fallen in battle on Iolcan soil.
Fascinating. What else?
One of the warden's most important duties is to perform a number of ceremonies in honor of Zeus. For example, the warden performs the first sacrifice of the harvest season each year. As the god of hospitality, Zeus demands that we also care for any traveler who arrives on Iolcus. The warden personally sees to the safety and well-being of those travelers.
Your hospitality is second to none. Are there other duties?
For fuck's sake, woman, I just started this game. How would I know? It's, but this is telling you, well, you're telling her, but you're also telling the gamer a little background about what Jason is and what he does here.
The warden is responsible for ensuring that the people of Iolcus receive justice. I often hear the cases of the people and offer judgment and arbitration. Another duty is to enforce the law and punish those who break it.
A truly noble calling. Is there more?
Most of a warden's time is spent training and preparing for situations we hope never arise. When a warden has a son, he turns to his boy's training, preparing him for the trials he is to face. That training is the basis for a lifetime of dedicated practice and devotion.
Such dedication. Is there anything else?
I'm sorry. I have some urgent matters to attend to. Perhaps we can speak of my duties some other time.
Oh, I see. Of course. She should be very here.
Alright, you can't attack outside of combat. So, I guess you understand why I said this is kind of like an ancient Greek Mass Effect. Because of the conversations with people. And the fact that it's kind of RPG-like.
Sir, we'll have this garden looking better than ever. I promise you.
Carry on.
Life goes on. Warden, sir. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I'll leave you to your work.
Trim my bushes? Holy shit.
The Temple of Iolcus. Within stand the great statues of Zeus and Hera. Defend Iolcus and praise Zeus. These are the oaths of all who dwell here.
Zeus.
It's terrible enough what happened. Hera forbid I speak cruelly of that beautiful girl.
There you are, Jason. It's good to see you out of that mausoleum. It isn't healthy to linger over the dead, nephew. Iolcus needs its king. Captain Idas has finished his investigation. Petitions await, and we must set a date to give last rites to Alcime.
There will be no date for that.
What? Jason, I am your uncle, and I care for you. The will of the gods may be a mystery to us all, but to deny Alcime her last rites is unnatural.
Until I'm certain there's no way to bring her back, I will not do it.
Bring her back? Alcime is dead. You seek the impossible.
Uncle did it. Bye all, I'm going to sleep. Have a good night, Gryffindor. Thank you for hanging out.
Impossible? Orpheus convinced Hades himself to allow his wife to return to the living.
Orpheus made a deal with Hades, but he broke it. Eurydice never saw the light of day.
But she could have. Orpheus failed, but that does not mean Jason would if given the same chance.
I'm going to Delphi, Uncle. I'll find my answers there.
This is the despair of grief. You're not thinking clearly. Alcime would not approve.
Elias, you've always given me good counsel, so I'll say this once and I'll say it plainly. My mind is set to this. Either lend your wisdom to help me, or stay out of my way.
I understand your ardor, Jason, but have you thought this through? Delphi is not found on any map. Find 100 charts, and each will point a different way.
I would trust Argos' charts above any other. Hercules and I will go ask him ourselves.
Very well. I know better than to argue with you when your mind is set. I will consult our records about the location of Delphi, in case Master Argos doesn't know the way.
Thank you, Uncle.
Delphi, I pray you find the answers you seek, nephew. I will go to the royal court and maintain some semblance of order there.
Silence.
Like I said,
No.
they're mad. But why come here? Seems such a remote place to attack.
I don't wanna...
Plunder, perhaps.
I don't wanna be a mean guy.
King Jason, my family and I grieve for your loss. I thank you. Some of the other guests and I were discussing the reaction of Mycenae to this tragedy. Do you think Mycenae will seek revenge for the loss of their princess? Mycenae must be told who was responsible. King Lycomedes is no friend to the Black Tongues. You're right, of course. And yet, King Lycomedes is not known for his understanding. I'm curious, King Jason. Why was Alcime's father not present at the wedding? He was occupied, mediating a treaty between neighboring islands. As king of Mycenae and a priest of Ares himself, his presence is enough to ensure peace between rivals. I see. May Hera bless you.
But then why kill the princess?
Zeus protect you.
And you, Photios.
I have a message from Master Argos, sir. He says your ship is nearly finished. He awaits your inspection aboard the ship itself.
Thank you. Was there anything else? You seem troubled today.
It's Thano, sir. My closest friend, and a good servant to you. He was killed in the attack.
Thanos?
What's more, he died in my arms, and gave to me his final words, meant for his wife, Agatha. It isn't an easy message to bear, sir, and I've yet to find the resolve to do it.
Thanos? He killed Spider-Man? Spoilers.
Thano fell beneath my roof. I'll deliver his final words.
I don't envy you the task. What he told me, as he lay dying, was that he always loved Agatha, even though he was not always faithful. He hoped she would remember him as a good man, if not a perfect one, and find it in her heart to forgive him. You see, not the easiest matter to address.
It is delicate. I'll give this message to Agatha.
They don't even acknowledge Zeus.
Like I said, they're mad.
And thank you for the follow, Gryffindor.
Such a remote place to attack.
Hail, Warden.
Lieutenant Platon, Idas says you fought like a lion during the attack. Well done.
6 Ionians felt the kiss of my mace. Praise Ares.
I didn't know you were a follower of Ares.
Aye, sir. Most of the guard choose Zeus as their patron. But I'm an Ares man, like my father before me. I find his blessings are best suited for this type of work.
Do you bring Ares' virtues to the guard?
I do. And to be honest, I think the guard would benefit if more men did as well. The followers of Ares believe that a warrior who thinks long lives short. Cowardice and shirking comes from thinking too much. No, us Ares men believe in doing, not thinking. We speak plainly and act directly. That's the Ares way.
Ares is the lord of battle and courage. What of the patrols and regulations of a guard's life?
I'm not fond of them either, but there's more glory to be had here than on a farm. That was the choice I had, and it was an easy one to make. Besides battle and courage, Ares also rules over manliness, instinct, and virility. And those are traits that help a man in all walks of life, if you get my meaning.
I do, Lud.
As you were, Lieutenant Platon.
An Ares man. I'm more of an Areola man.
Hail, King Jason. Lieutenant of Arius, how goes the training?
Lieutenants Myron and Platon are putting the new recruits through their paces. They're rough, but they'll learn.
Perhaps I could teach them a thing or two.
Would you? Listen up, you men. You've a rare honor today. King Jason himself is going to show you how a warrior fights. This is one of our newest recruits, King Jason. Breathe, boy. Can't have you passing out before you started.
Don't be nervous. Try your best.
And I just killed the recruit.
That's how you do it, men. Now you understand why he's the warden. Perhaps the king will show us how to fight against multiple opponents. King Jason?
Of course.
Right. You two.
Let's make it 3.
As you say, my king. You 3. Learn from the king. I hope everyone's paying close attention. You all have a lot of work to do. Some of the men were asking about how to deal with a spearman. Perhaps you and Lieutenant Myron can demonstrate.
Lieutenant Myron, when you're ready. Have some of the recruits join you.
The spear offers reach and precision. Watch the king and learn, recruits. Watch how he reacts to my spear.
Okay.
You honor us, King Jason.
Midas taught me well, but it's up to all of you to train hard.
Another lesson? Against Lieutenant Platon and his mace, perhaps.
Sure. This better give me some
Lieutenant
XP.
Platon, when you're ready, have some of the recruits join you.
It's a poor man's God of War.
The mace
The
is a
combat
weapon of
might be.
deliberate power. You men keep an eye on how King Jason contends with it.
But the rest is way different from God of War. It's God of War with RPG elements, which means so it's better. Maybe not better than the new one, because I think the new one has RPG elements too. Crab combat is crab combat.
Well fought, King Jason. We can all learn much from you.
What do you say to one final lesson? My sword could use some practice.
So the statements you make literally blow my mind. God of War is a little repetitive sometimes. Which is why I only ever played the first
Lieutenant
one.
Avarius, when you're ready.
Did I miss a gem?
The sword
Maybe.
is quick and agile. Learn from the king and how he responds to my attacks.
So is Devil May Cry and other games like that. I never felt that repetitiveness on Devil May Cry 1 and 3. But I can't quite put my finger on why, if I'm to be honest about that.
You're the best warrior on Yokus, and you have been for some time. This has been an honor for us all, my king.
Hail, hail! Hail, hail! Hail, hail!
Continue your training. Remember, you fight for Yolkus, so honor her with your effort.
Hail, sir. The new recruits are raw, but they've got promise.
I heard you were the first to raise the alarm during the attack, Myron.
Yes, sir. I spotted those Ionians while patrolling the palace and made the call to arms. I just wish I could have found them earlier. Perhaps Queen Alcime would still be with us.
No, Myron. You did your duty, and I'm grateful for that. You have no blame in what happened.
I thank you for saying so, sir. Work is the best remedy for tragedy, I believe. I'd best get back to helping these new recruits.
Ionia would not be so bold to look.
Is this a 360 exclusive? I don't know if it's an exclusive. I'm playing on the 360. It might be.
What a view! You can see for miles here.
The sacrifices of those who died in defense of this land will never be forgotten. Be proud of your men and women, your sons and daughters, your kin. They honored their vows. May we give as much to honor our own.
It did come out on PS3. So, if it's a multi-platform and I have it on Xbox 360, it means it doesn't have trophies. That's how I chose back then. Could have patched trophies, but that would have been too much work. By the time this game released, if they didn't have trophies in, it's because they didn't want to. They would never patch it, I think. It's kind of on the same, like the games that were coming out at this time already had trophies in, I think. So it's kind of like Afro Samurai, for example, which is multi-platform but does not have trophies.
King Jason.
Elpis, I didn't know you were among the injured.
Oh, it was nothing. I'm recovered mostly. It's just my poor parents.
What do you mean?
My parents don't know what happened to me, nor do I want them to. They're old and in ill health. Why let them worry? Could you tell them I'm well? That I've just been too busy to see them?
Of course. Why burden them?
I knew you'd understand.
Rest now, Elpis. I'll speak to your parents.
Well.
This is where I first met Alcime.
When you were children?
Yes. Her father, King Lycomedes, left her in the care of my father while he was at war. 10 years she lived here.
Alcime, come back! She is willful, you must watch her carefully.
She'll be safe here, Lycomedes.
Indeed. No one knows. Not even my advisors. Alcime!
Are you spying? Here, Father!
I see you've met young Jason.
King Lycomedes, sir.
Jason, a word of advice. I know my daughter. You're going to have to keep your wits about you.
Come, Hercules.
The allergies suck, David. I don't take medicine, I feel like crap. I take medicine, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I know what you mean about allergies suck. Non-drowsy meds make me sleepy. Fortunately, I found a good medicine that doesn't make me sleepy that I take when I'm like a little flared up. But my allergies are pretty soft, so I can't complain there. They are around like all year, but they're pretty soft. Anyway, I'll be right back. I need a quick break. I haven't taken a break yet today, actually, but I'm gonna take one and I'll be right back, and we're gonna keep playing this and see where it leads us. And I am liking it. I already played this, but it was a very long time ago. But I am liking it, and I think I do want to keep going and pursue it, because I like this story, and I feel like more video games should adapt these kinds of stories, like the Iliad and the Odyssey and stuff like that. And this is one of those cases. But yeah, I'll be right back. Well, I'm back, and pretty sure everyone is gone because this water effect probably made everyone want to pee.
sing to thee. King Jason, I am Antiphon, royal poet. May Hermes guide your path in these dark times. When I have felt the sting of loss, my devotion to the messenger has always been a comfort.
How so, Antiphon?
We often see Lord Hermes as the most light-hearted of the Olympians, a trickster, a storyteller, a rogue. But he is also the spirit guide. When I have lost a loved one, it helps to remember they pass to Hermes' care.
It seems I find followers of Hermes in more professions than any other of the Olympians.
Poets and athletes, merchants and thieves, travelers and shepherds, Hermes watches over all of these. Then there are his more official duties. Messenger of the gods, lord of the four winds, guide to the spirits of the fallen, keeper of lore. And he also inspires the placing of Herms, of course.
Herms. The stones that mark the boundaries of different places.
Yes, those are Herms, but there are other types. Some Herms simply mark the site of important or historical events. The followers of Hermes place these markers to keep a record of the deeds of men.
I did not know this.
I imagine Hermes' virtues help you with your poems.
Without them, I could scarcely call myself a poet. Followers of Hermes place wit above all other qualities. As we like to say, strength wanes and beauty fades, but only wit grows day by day. We also value agility of mind and body. It's said the best poets and the best swordsmen all pray to Hermes for his blessings. Diverse company indeed.
What poem are you working on now, Antiphon?
Ah, yes. I've been composing an elegiac verse to honor the memory of Princess Alcime. Perhaps the king would be willing to assist me?
What sort of help do you need?
I'm trying to find a worthy start. Which of her many qualities do you think I should treat first?
She did have many. But I would begin with her... virtue. The people of Iolcus knew her kindness well.
Very well. Let's see. A breeze blew in from Mycenae, a gentle kiss of air. Perfumed with tender kindness, it blessed these humble shores. But all too soon, the air grew still. The breeze, it was no more. That wind, it whispered, Alcime, a queen as kind as she was fair. It's a start, at least. To honor her, much work must be done.
If you seek to honor all her virtues, you have a very long poem ahead of you. I leave you to your work.
An honor, sir. The cunning indescribable. The faculty quite viable.
This is a gigantic palace.
Humility? Olympus must see that we are humble.
propitiated. There's no doubt this is a sign of their anger.
I've already sent word to have...
My condolences on your loss.
Indeed.
I thank you both.
We've heard a rumor that the assassin, may he rot in Tartarus, was a Black Tongue.
Certainly that isn't true.
Captain Idas is finishing his investigation. We'll know more then.
The Black Tongues haven't been seen in a decade. King Lycomedes destroyed them.
It must be a mistake.
Gentlemen, if you'll excuse me.
The gods must be... Why would they strike here, of all places? It doesn't make sense.
Yes. Yes. Humility. Olympus must see that we are humble, lest such trouble...
That's not what I heard.
No stone will ever capture your beauty.
Hail, sire. Guard Pathrus, what troubles you?
Grief, my king, for your loss and for mine. My younger brother Timaeus was killed in the attack.
Timaeus was your brother? He leapt in front of me and took an assassin's arrow. He died in valor.
His ambition went beyond a noble death. Captain Idas had just promoted him to be the guard's standard bearer. And now this. How can I face my father with such news?
Timaeus died for me. It's my responsibility to tell your father.
You'd do that for me? Speak to my father, Mnason, at his farm?
Yes. But there is something you must do. Guard Pathrus. See that the spear of the Yulkan standard bearer is sent to your father, in honor of Timaeus' sacrifice.
Such an honor would no doubt ease his suffering. My thanks to you, King Jason.
Aspect? Aspect of what? Oh, right. Okay. This is the sphere grid. All of that is pretty interesting, actually. Oh. So this is where my quests are.
Warden, sir. Forgive us. We were speaking of matters that do not concern us.
What happened here concerns us all. We need not apologize. When we have certain knowledge of what took place, it will not be kept secret from the people.
You are as kind as you are wise, sir.
Sir, I'm sorry. We were just talking idly.
It's all right.
It's just that we've heard so many rumors about what happened. I don't know what to think.
The threat is over. The danger is past. As for who is responsible and why it happened, leave that to myself.
Of course, sir. It's a comfort to hear that from our warden. That's not what
I've already sent word to have 2 prized bulls offered up to Zeus.
Just 2? My brother sacrificed.
Oh, I see.
A flower grew on my side, its beauty plain to see.
Jason! It's ill fortune to see me the night before our wedding.
It is ill fortune not to see you, any night or any day.
I'm told Argos' ship is almost ready for us. Where will we go first?
Alcime, I have sworn to watch over Iolcus. I
know, Warden. You have your duty. Fortunately, Iolcus is so perfect I could stay here forever. Now, King Jason, this humble princess of Mycenae is going to retire. And she does not expect to see you again until such time as you are ready to wed her.
Then I will see you tomorrow. It will be the best day of my life.
The best night, too, I hope.
None of the above.
Is something the matter, Jason?
No. It's nothing.
It's a wonder the whole Sir? Hercules? Those damn Ionians came through here like a bull in a pottery works.
They are not known for their subtlety.
Yes. Would that it was only the palace they destroyed. Carry on.
A curse on those masked barbarians.
A flower grew on my side.
There's still a lot to explore. I don't know why these rooms can't connect to each other, though.
Hail, King Jason. Captain Idas, how are you feeling?
Better, my king. My pride was injured more than anything. Was a time those Ionian dogs wouldn't have had a chance.
You fought bravely, my friend. The odds were great.
I've got 3 things for your attention, Jason. First, we have the results from our investigation of the attack. Second, I've just received a report of a disturbance in the village. And lastly, there's a private matter I would discuss with you.
Let's hear the investigation report.
I'm afraid it's both disturbing and disappointing.
What's the disturbing part?
The assassin bore all the markings of a Black Tongue. His dress, his weapons, his tattoos, and of course, his marksmanship. Jason, I went to that balcony. There's not a bowman in Greece who could have made that shot.
Disturbing indeed. And the disappointing part?
We still don't know why he came. The Ionians? That's easy. They're mercenaries. They came for plunder. But why Alcime was targeted? What anyone could have hoped to gain from it? We've learned nothing.
Idis, what do you know of the Black Tongues?
Just the common rumors, really. They're a cult that worships the dark titaness Hecate. Like the Ionians, they place the old gods above Olympus. For centuries, the Black Tongues were the most feared assassins in Greece. I don't know if you remember, but when you were a boy, Alcime's father, King Lycomedes, waged a war against the cult. Until this attack, everyone thought he had eradicated them.
Apparently not.
Which makes it pretty clear-cut, at least apparently.
The Ionians. Are we sure they were nothing more than hired mercenaries?
As far as we can tell. We traced this particular band back to Ithaca. They were there about a month ago to reprovision. Our sources say they spoke there of a new job they'd just been hired for. A well-paying job.
What is this private matter, Idis? You know you may speak freely with me.
Yes, well... It's time for me to step down, Jason. I'm not the man I once was. This attack made me realize I've grown old. I can't ask men to fight for me when I can't fight for them.
More than any man in Iolcus. You've earned the right to choose when your time has come.
I've got 3 men in mind who could do the job. The sooner you make your choice, the sooner I can start training them to take my place.
Let's see the men who would attempt to replace you.
Lieutenants Ivarius, Myron, and Platon, step forward. These 3 are equal in rank and seniority. I believe all 3 could do the job.
Lieutenant Myron, make your claim.
My name is Myron. I come from a family of shepherds. For 3 years, I've led the Night Watch. Far too many died in the attack. It must not happen again. The guard could not survive another blow.
Let's hear how you would defend the palace, Myron.
Pull back the guard to the palace's living quarters, where the most people are. Important officials, yourself, Master Pallias, should have bodyguards at all times.
What do you think of your companions?
Dedicated, but reckless. In times such as these, we must be cautious.
Lieutenant Ivarius, speak your case.
I am Ivarius, son of a farmer from the plains. I've known no other captain than Idis. If chosen, I will strive to lead as he does. Honor and sacrifice will be the hallmark of your guard.
Tell me, Ivarius, how would you defend the palace?
I would do as Idis did. Spread the guard throughout to spot any attack as soon as possible.
What do you think of your fellow lieutenants?
Both are dedicated in their own way. I'll speak no ill of them.
Lieutenant Platon, speak.
Platon, born a fisherman, but destined to be captain. King Jason, your guards have grown complacent. It's time to make a clean start. Break them down and build them up again. Instill discipline.
Discipline without strategy only goes so far, Plato. How would you defend the palace?
To start, I'd have the guards off their asses and out scouring the island for the next threat. Those that must be here should be stationed in the royal court, the natural defensive point.
What do you think of your companions?
They mean well, I suppose, but they don't have the balls to do what must be done. No offense.
What is your counsel, Uncle?
From what I know, each of these men is capable. Wisdom says an unmarried man makes the best guard. No family to give him pause when he's asked to risk his life. Myron is not married, as I understand.
Lieutenant Avarius, speak your case.
We've suffered a terrible attack, but the guard doesn't need to be remade, just restored to what it was.
Lieutenant of...
We've suffered. The guard doesn't need to be remade, just restored.
Lieutenant Myron.
These are dangerous times. We must expect further attacks and begin planning now.
I've made my decision.
Who will it be then?
Avarius.
Lieutenant Avarius, I name you Captain of the Guard. It is my wish that you strive to lead as Captain Idus has led. Nobly, honorably, and with dedication. May you always be first in battle and last to stand in our defense.
It will be my honor. May the leadership of Idus live on through me.
All three of you. I am grateful the Guard has men of your quality. Dismissed.
I thank you, Jason. I'm sure my wife, Cipriana, will thank you too.
After a few months with you around all day, she may change her tune.
I'd like to go tell her the news.
Of course. Let's finish our business, then you can go to the village. What is this report of trouble in the village?
Apparently, Zeno of Thessaloniki has arrived on Iolcus. His brother Menander fell during the attack.
Yes. I heard he was among the guests who were killed.
As you can imagine, Zeno is none too pleased. Thessaloniki has never been a friendly neighbor. Those cheese-eaters have been jealous of Zeus's favor for as long as anyone can remember.
I remember this Zeno. Loud, arrogant sort. Fancies himself a general.
Aye. Well, he's down in the village shouting at anyone who will listen, demanding compensation for his brother. He's got a couple of men with him, and the guard who made the report says there was a witch with him as well.
Okay.
To be safe, let's keep the watch double, Curtis.
As you say, Jason.
That should be good.
Jason, will you hear the petitions before the court?
Yes.
Yes. Call for the next petition.
King Jason will now hear petitions. The court recognizes the Honorable Mecistus, emissary of King Lycomedes of Mycenae.
Mecistus, I hear you'll be leaving for Mycenae shortly.
Indeed. I will return with difficult news. The king's daughter, murdered on her wedding day. What message would you have me give King Lycomedes on your behalf?
Tell him I will not rest until Alcime is avenged.
While the king will certainly expect justice, he will have hard questions about how this happened. Not just who was responsible, but what did you do, King Jason, to protect his daughter?
Clearly not enough. But I will undo this. I'll bring back Alcime.
I will give King Lycomedes your message. Perhaps his high opinion of you will not change.
Jason, will you hear another petition?
Yes. Call for the next petition.
The court recognizes the guardsman, Orestes.
Hail, sir. We've been holding a handful of Ionian prisoners pending your orders.
How many are there?
5, sir. One's a captain, or whatever their equivalent is called.
And they've been questioned?
Yes. Captain Idis says they've said all they have to say. What should we do with them, sir?
Execute them. Do it cleanly. Quickly. They deserve to die for what they've done. But unlike them, we will not cause suffering.
It will be done, sir.
Jason, will you hear another petition?
Yes. Call for the next petition.
The
We
court
are just.
recognizes Katya, farmer's daughter.
Sire, I appear before you to beseech your favor.
What is it you would ask of me?
Allow me to give last rites to the dead Ionians and the assassin. No one has yet done this. If they were evil men, Hades will judge them. But to deny last rites is to deny the will of the gods.
Is it?
I believe it is our duty to see that all the dead are sent to Hades, regardless of what they did in this life.
I was taught as much myself. But there are exceptions to every rule.
Will you let me, sir? I will perform the rites myself.
Your devotion is to be lauded, young Katya. And you are right. For the dead whose time has come, it is our duty to pass their spirits on to Hermes, so that he may guide them. Your request is granted.
I thank you. I knew our warden was noble.
Jason, will you hear another petition?
This is pretty interesting, actually.
Yes. Call for the next petition.
The court recognizes Philo, a shepherd.
King Jason, a black lamb has been born to my flock. As is custom, I've come to ask your blessing before the animal is sacrificed to Zeus.
A black sheep is quite an omen.
The animal will not be sacrificed to Zeus.
But Jason...
Let it be sacrificed to another god. Apollo, Ares, Athena, Hermes. Choose one of them.
I cannot make such a choice, sir.
Pelias, surely the other gods would look favorably upon such a rare sacrifice.
The lamb is an omen of change, so consider what course you see before you. A sacrifice to Ares would increase your chance of victory over your enemies. If you want wisdom on your path ahead, then propitiate Athena. Honor Apollo, if you desire peace for your heart and your kingdom. If you know not what you seek, then choose Hermes, and may he bring you fortune no matter the path you take.
Let it be sacrificed to Ares.
It will be done as you command.
There are no further petitioners today, Jason. Nephew, what news?
Nothing yet. There's a disturbance in the village I must see to. And I must still speak with Argos.
When I have a moment, I will see what I can find about the location of Delphi.
This is why I was attracted to playing this game, because it's so... While the combat is worse, of course, it's so different from God of War in so many ways. so many interesting ways for
Here
me.
did Yolcum, favored of Zeus, defeat the giant Typhor to claim these lands. Yolcum vowed that he and his descendants would forever honor Zeus and protect his sacred island. And so was founded the Kingdom of Iolcus.
So yeah, not the best game out there. Absolutely a forgotten game by everyone else. But still a game I wanna see more of.
Perhaps I should do the same as a show of humility. Servant. You were saying.
What do you think it means?
Just a band of marauders. Ionian raiders for the seconds.
Ionia will help.
Sir, please tell.
Ionia would not be so bold as to look westward for conquest.
So I thought.
Okay, well, I think I finished exploring this place.
There's no doubt this is a sign.
I think. It's pretty confusing and gigantic, so who knows, really. So let's go down to the village and take care of business. Yep.
Your palace would be at home among the great houses of Athens or Mycenae.
Thanks, Hercules.
Sir, one of the villagers came by. Says this warrior in the village had a witch with him.
We'll see about that.
Hail, sir. There's reports of trouble in the village. Some foreign warrior demanding to see you.
I'll see to it. Thank you.
Could he not find his way to the palace?
Welcome, King Jason. May the blessings of Apollo's light shine upon you. What can Pandora, a humble fortune teller and follower of the sun god, do for you?
Does Apollo grant you the gift of foresight? Is that why you're a fortune teller?
I'm certainly not an oracle or even a seer. But I have some knowledge of the stars and their influence on men.
And besides prophecy, why else do you follow Apollo?
Oh, Apollo rules over much more than that. He is the sun god. He who commands the sun. Civilization, music, and order. All of these are noble things.
Praise the sun.
What of Apollo's virtues? Do they have an effect on your work?
Nobility of purpose, a studious and open mind, compassion. These are the virtues I strive to uphold. There is a reason good men ask Apollo to bless their shields. He favors those whose purpose is true and who fight only to defend what's noble and right.
What type of fortunes do you tell?
I ask a person questions about their relationships with their fellow man. Then I interpret their responses and align them with the constellations of the stars.
Let's see what fortune you can see.
A man's most difficult choices involve the relationships he has with others. Which of these relationships shall we explore first?
Let's discuss the bonds of family.
2 suitors vie for your daughter's hand. One is a prince who will lift your entire family in stature and wealth, but your daughter doesn't love him. The other is a lowly farmer whose land is poor, but whose heart is rich with your daughter's love. If she marries the prince, there will be peace for 100 years, but she will live a short and unhappy life. If she marries the farmer, she will live long and happily, but the land will be plunged into brutal warfare. To whom do you give your blessing?
I choose the farmer. My daughter's welfare is more important than that of strangers. And if there is to be war, so be it. I fear no war.
In this matter, your answer aligns with the constellation Lupus, the wolf. Of what shall we speak of next?
Speak of friendship, the bonds between comrades.
You are a poor guard, as is your closest friend. You learn that someone has stolen the devotional offerings from the local temple. You discover it was your friend who did this. His wife is very sick and requires medicine he cannot afford. He offers to split the money with you if you keep his secret. A large reward and a likely promotion await you if you arrest him. What do you do?
I would let him keep all the money. He's my friend and he has need. The temple be damned.
Here, I sense the stars of the constellation Lupus, the wolf, in your response.
Again.
Of what shall we speak of next?
Duty to king and country. Let us speak of that.
You are a scout in a king's army. A neighboring kingdom threatens your border. A fragile treaty keeps the peace, and you have orders to honor it. On patrol, you spot a soldier from the opposing kingdom hurriedly racing back to his side of the border. From where he was on your side, you see a scratched pattern on the ground, a signal for an invading force. What do you do?
Frame the enemy?
I would cross the border and kill the enemy, then drag him back across to my side. I could then report that he had broken the treaty and have proof.
Your answer is guided by the constellation Centaurus, the Centaur. Now, we have only the matter of society to discuss. You are a shepherd. You suspect a neighbor who is neither kin nor friend of opening your gate and grazing his flocks on your land. This shepherd's pastures lie between yours and the great forest. The wolves have been emerging from the forest in force this year and have claimed many of his flock. The wolves have spared your sheep while they grow fat on his. What do you do?
For a price, I mean, it's a business.
I would allow the other shepherd to graze his flock on my land, but insist that he give me a portion of his flock's produce in return.
I feel the sway of the constellation Centaurus, the centaur, in your answer.
So, Pandora, what fortune do you read in my responses?
You consider duty as a guideline. Rules and regulations are not as important as the principles behind them. In this world, every man must heed his own interests. You believe in looking out for yourself, knowing that no one else will. The bonds of friendship run deep with you. For friends in need, there is nothing you wouldn't do. Family is more important than all else. You would do anything for your family, no matter the consequence. Two guides vie to influence you. Lupus the wolf, and Centaurus the centaur. To succeed on your path, you will have to strike a balance between instinct and guile. Your choices have shed much light on the man who stands before me. I hope you have found my humble fortune illuminating in some small way.
I did. Thank you. I must be going, Pandora. Be well.
Apollo bless you.
Well, that took a while.
Again, Jason. Watch your form. Should I have Alcime show you?
Alcime? I'll do it.
He forgets I'm a daughter of Ares, Captain Idis.
How can I, when you so often remind me?
I think he's distracted. I wonder what's got his attention.
Perhaps he'll tell us.
All this talking, that's what.
Here, Diaphanes, renowned architect, was shown by Apollo the temple and palace he was to build. As he gazed up at the cliffs, he was blinded by a beam of light. Shielding his eyes, he saw the outline of ghostly buildings high above. And thus the palace of the kings of Iolcus was built to honor the vision he had been given.
Yeah, that's great that someone believed them.
Look who finally decides to grace us with his presence! King Jason himself! It only took you all day!
You are welcome on Yolka, Zeno. What can I do for you?
You can spare me your honeyed words for a start. I didn't come all this way from Thessaloniki for your hospitality. My brother already suffered that fate.
I am sorry for Menander's loss. May he find his way to Elysium.
Not good enough. No, not by a long way, King of Iolcus. There must be compensation, tribute. Your lands here are rich. Your herds are fat. Clearly you've grown soft with Zeus's favor shining down upon you. Things are much different on the rocky soil of Thessaloniki. A hard life makes men tough. But you Yulkans wouldn't know about that.
Save your insults, Thessalonian. Why don't you just say what it is you want?
I will bring my brother's body home. And with it, my ship will be full of Yulkan wheat and sheep. And then, each year, on the anniversary of Menander's death, you will send 10 girls on the cusp of womanhood to me.
No!
This is what I demand in tribute to the memory of my murdered brother.
My guards fought valiantly to save all those who could be saved. Your brother's death was a tragedy, and I grieve his passing. But I will not compound that tragedy by paying you off and sending innocent girls to you.
That's right!
You tell him, King Jason. I am not here to negotiate. If you refuse my demand, then my men and I will take our own revenge.
If you disgrace your brother's memory with this display...
The lure of tribute brought him here. He doesn't care about his brother's memory.
Do I not? You will see how much his honor means to me. Consider yourself challenged, Warden.
Name your terms.
My men and I against you and your behemoth. Your guards will take no retribution against me after I kill you. When you fall, I take my brother's body and the tribute I have named back to Thessaloniki.
No! Don't do it!
And your stake?
I hold here my brother's mace, a weapon worth more than anything on Iolcus. Blessed by Poseidon himself. This will be my stake. Boo!
No one wants it.
No. You will swear here and now, before these witnesses, that your family will make no further claim for tribute. Should any try to do so, they will forfeit the honor of your family name.
Very well. So I swear. So swears Zeno of Thessaloniki.
Tell us when. You boys take all the time you need.
Jason of Iolcus dies today! Kill them!
Ow. Is Hercules doing everything himself?
Finish it, you Yolkan dog!
Take your brother home, Zeno.
I won't forget this, Jason.
Leave the mace.
What?
Your stake. Do you forget?
Bah! A curse on Iolcus!
Fuck you.
It is a fine mace. Do you think it really was blessed by Poseidon?
Who knows?
I doubt it.
One thing's certain. It'll see more honor with you than that fool.
Wave Breaker. Whenever this mace hits an enemy, there is a chance that the non-damaging blast will impact on foes around him. Also, all mace attacks have a moderate power bonus. Sure.
Be careful, King Jason. He had a witch with him earlier. She may still be around.
A witch.
You don't know that, Thaddeus.
You should have seen her. Markings all over her body. And she was asking about the assassin.
More like demands, really. Did any of us see him? Where did he come from? She was very interested, all right.
And what's she look like?
Strange. Foreign-like. No Yolkin woman would wear the dress she's wearing, I'll say that.
And she's got these markings, tattoos and such all over. Legs and feet and arms and face.
Dark hair, piercing eyes. Clean her up a bit. She could be passably fair, I suppose.
Why, you dirty old goat. That's enough of you.
Yanula, please. I'm just trying to give the king a good description.
Did she say what her purpose was?
We asked that. She said, wolves always hunt in packs. Thought that a strange reply myself.
Mostly, she was just pressing. Almost brought my wife to tears. She's keen on it, I tell you. Intense. Like she's got urgent business.
Where is she now? Did you see her leave?
That we did. That Xeno man was yelling up a storm, and I saw her slink off.
It was real strange. She had her ears perked, like she was listening for something. Then, all of a sudden, she pricks up, and she was off like a bolt toward the Crypt of Kings.
I heard her say under her breath, "I've got you now," as she ran off. I swear on Olympus.
Thank you. I'll find her and see what she's up to.
Sounds like she found another black-tongued guy.
Here landed King Trion's spear, humbling the Athenian Policidae. Drunk from the king's feast, the famed warrior boasted that no Yoken man could match his throne. For the honor of his kingdom, King Trion took up his challenge. Great Athena lent Trion her skill, and he unleashed a throw so mighty that boastful Policidae was stricken mute with shame.
Jason.
Idis, how is village life suiting you?
It's only been a few minutes, but so far I think I can get used to it.
Get used to it? Is it that difficult?
It's Elysium, simply. There, happy?
I'll leave you two to your business. Come, children.
So, what are you going to do without the guard?
Farm.
Farm? Farm what?
Grapes or barley. Haven't decided yet. Barley practically grows itself. so I'd have more time to fish or hunt or just sit with my children. But grapes, now there's a challenge that could keep me occupied. Give me something to do with myself.
Shouldn't you have left the guard uniform back there?
You deserve to rest, Idis. Plant the barley. I'll see that grapes are sent to you.
As my king commands, barley it is. Been a while since I've gone fishing. I hear you're leaving, Jason. Heading for Delphi.
I'm going to bring her back, Idis.
I pray you do. Here, Jason. I've given this a great deal of thought, and... my sword. I want you to have it.
Growing up, training, I used to marvel at this sword.
I know you did. But remember, weapons are only as good as the men who wield them. This one, it's a good sword, and it served me well. But with you, I think it can become a great sword.
I am honored, my friend.
All Jason's sword attack deal more damage to shields and have significant chance to deal crippling wounds, hampering an enemy's ability to turn and move. Sure. Let's do that then. Hello, Cozzetti.
Thank you, Jason.
Keep him out of trouble, Cipriano.
Keep him fed, Cipriano.
When I grow up, I'm gonna be like Hercules.
You're looking more like your father each day, youngling.
Unlikely.
It's so sad what happened to Princess Alcime.
Be good, Zarya.
Thought I'd drop in and watch for a while. What have you been up to? And how are you doing?
Here was born Amphiname, wife of King Trion. Though a farmer's daughter, she was gifted by the gods with beauty and virtue. Such was her grace that Hera blessed her union with the king. And so she became Queen of Iolcus. My mother. Fine queen indeed.
Invading peeps in Dark Souls 2, been pretty good. How about you? I'm doing good. I just finished Shenmue 1, so I'm trying out a new game that I have had for a long time, but I never played, and I wanted to give it a shot.
Thank you for dealing with that obnoxious man. The nerve to demand such tribute.
He was nothing like his brother. Let us remember to mourn for Menander.
That we can do. There's been a lot of mourning here of late.
Our neighbor Agathe lost her husband in the attack. He was a servant in the palace. Poor Agathe and her son Sinon. That boy's taking it very hard.
I have a Dreamcast with Shenmue, is it good? You have a Dreamcast with Shenmue, but you never played it? It's great. But if you have no nostalgia for it, then be warned that there are some old school design choices that probably won't sit well with you today. There's a lot of killing time. Bought it a week ago in a garage sale. Oh. How much do you pay for it?
Let's talk about this witch you saw with Zeno.
Something strange about her. I won't feel right until she's found.
All those questions about the assassin. What kind of person would want to know about that?
Farewell. Hopefully there won't be any further distractions here.
10 US dollars for the Dreamcast and Shenmue?
Thank you for dealing with that poor Agatha and her...
That's a great price. Shenmue and 2 controllers. Nice. That's very nice. That's a great deal, dude. So I would absolutely recommend you play it. The thing is, the game doesn't have a wait function, and sometimes you just have to kill time. And that's a problem. It's a problem because the game is a little obtuse as well. But I really like it. I do. It has a lot of character. Kill time by forklifting. That's only on disc 3 though.
Look, heroes. It's the king.
What could he be doing here?
Oh no, please no. Help us. Is she...
Kill time like in real lifetime? Yes, you have to, like, for example, I go and meet with a guy at noon, and he says, okay, I'll do what you need me to do, come back at noon tomorrow. You can only go to sleep at 8 p.m., which means from then to 8 p.m. and then from the time you wake up to noon the very next day, you have to find something to do. You can go walk around, talk to people, you can buy gashapon or buy stuff in the store, you can play arcade games, you can train your martial arts, but you can't just magically advance time. You can do something else while the game is on running. But the thing is, that's like old school design choice, so you should be prepared for that. It's a compelling experience. It is a compelling experience. The game is great.
Elpis is fine. With all the chaos, she's been too busy to send word.
Oh, praise Zeus.
We've been so worried. You've lifted a great burden from us, sir.
Before I set sail, I'll leave instructions for her to come visit you.
It sounds interesting. It's certainly different.
I won't rest easy until I see Elpis again.
Don't worry yourself sick, wife. The king said she'll visit soon.
Different because it's 20 years old. Right. It's no Yakuza. More of an FGC player myself. What does that mean? What is FGC? Gate to where? Fighting game. Yeah, I really like fighting games, but I'm kind of crappy at them, so not something I pursue very much. What is this place?
Here lies the entrance to the cave of Amalthea. Fearing the jealousy of Cronus, Rhea gave to Amalthea her infant son Zeus to hide and protect. In this hot refuge, Amalthea nurtured the newborn god, safe from the sight of Cronus. The cries of Zeus were masked by the sounds of the moving rock and the searing flame. Glory to Amalthea, who saw that Zeus was safely raised until he could challenge his father Cronus.
Is this a dungeon? I guess. I guess it's a future dungeon. Oh dear, what is this? What is what? The game? Jason and the Aristocats. Aristocrats. It should be the Aristocats.
I was raised in a village like this. Long time ago.
Here lies the Crypt of Kings, the final resting place of the royal family of Iolcus. In this crypt are kings and queens, wardens and champions of Zeus. May their honor live forever.
Jason and some Aristocats.
The great Medea, how far the mighty have fallen. Your power has grown feeble.
Has it? I Bethena Mono Ilari.
They stepped back like, damn. They have no idea what they just walked into. This is basically God of War? Not really. It does different things.
Forgive me. I lost myself again.
Are you all right?
I am weak, but it will pass.
That Black Tongue called you Medea. I assume that's your name?
It is.
It's time for answers, Medea.
Then ask your questions, Jason.
Your sorcery nearly killed all of us. Do you have no control over it?
There was a time no follower of Hecate could hope to match me. But once I abandoned the witch goddess,
Her protections abandoned me.
You were once a Black Tongue?
You see the markings I still bear. Are they not answer enough? In another life, I was one of them, until I realized the powers I gained came with a terrible price. When I heard of the attack here, I came as quickly as I could. Their assassins never work alone.
Medea, do you know why the Black Tongues targeted my wife?
I don't know why, but I know this is not their first attempt. They tried before when she was a babe on Mycenae.
What?
When your wife was born, King Lycomedes traveled to Delphi and spoke to the Oracle Pelagia. Whatever he was told, it got the Black Tongue's attention. Assassins were dispatched to both Mycenae and Delphi. Lycomedes thwarted the attempt on your wife, and the assassin Lysander failed to eliminate the Oracle Pelagia. It's said he fell in love with her, and together they fled, never to be seen again.
So that's why Lycomedes waged his war.
Yes. His name was cursed by every Black Tongue in Greece.
Medea, I seek to restore my wife. The Black Tongues are at the heart of what's happened here. Your knowledge of them would be helpful. And in return, I offer you allies in your fight.
If you try to bring her back, the Black Tongues will flock to you like moths to a flame. There'd be no need to chase after them.
Go to my ship. Tell Argos to give you a room.
Jason, are you sure about this?
Your friend is right, Jason. I am not safe to be around. I sometimes lose myself, as you have seen.
You underestimate me.
No. It is you who underestimate me. Believe me, today was a good day. You don't want to see my bad days. There would have to be precautions taken.
Then we'll take them.
Very well, King of Iolcus. I will hunt with you and lend what aid I can. I will prepare the wards to secure your ship.
Okay. Is she a party member too?
Sorcery being cast about my liking. Why did you ask her along, Jason? How can you trust her?
There are forces at work we know little about. Prophecies, Lycomedes, the Black Tongues. Knowledge I can hold on to as an advantage. Besides, you saw what you did to that assassin.
I don't want to spoil anything about Greek mythology. About what? But Jason definitely bangs her. Oh, okay.
This is the war armor of the kings of Iolcus. Last worn by my father. I have never had occasion to don this armor. I'd hoped I never would. But Iolcus needs me now. Her queen needs me. The journey ahead may be difficult. This piece of Iolcus will journey with me.
When the way ahead looks daunting, remember who you fight for. Iolcus is more than its fair fields and proud bluffs. It is mother to us all. We do not stumble over mountains, my son. We stumble over stones. Step safely over every stone, and you will cross the mountain.
Now, to see about our ship and Delphi. To the docks.
Jason's maximum health increases by a significant amount. Additionally, Jason has a moderate increase to his resistance. Let's use it. Well, I don't remember if Jason does bang her or not. This is Greek mythology? Yes, this is a pretty well-known story. They bang. Oh.
Now that is a boat.
This is probably the most well-known story, not counting the Homer epic sagas of the Iliad and the Odyssey. Dang what? Oh, you thought I was gonna say it was the most well-known of them all.
Sinon, listen to me. We have family in Thrace. We'll be welcome there.
We can't just leave. Iolcus is our home.
Your father is gone, Sinon. Our lives must continue.
But only on Thrace? No, Mother. Here is where my father is buried. Here is where I'll honor him.
Sinon! Forgive my lack of cheer, King Jason.
Are you Agathe, widow of the servant Thano? I have a message for you. Your husband's dying words.
I've seen Hercules' Disney movie and Xena the Warrior Princess. Damn. Is this broke-ass Portuguese God of War? It's not Portuguese. And other than the combat, it's not really broke-ass. Did Kratos kill Jason in any of the God of Wars? I don't know, but don't say that, because I still want to play those games.
His message was simple. He loved you. Always. From the moment you met. He asked that you remember him as a loving husband and father, and hoped his son Sinon would live to honor him.
Thank you for telling me, King Jason.
If there's anything I can do.
My son and I have each other. Nothing else can help right now.
Pretty sure they bang at some point. Who?
I live now to honor my husband's memory, and will raise our son to do so as well. Just not here.
Howard. Oh, Jason and Kratos bang. Okay. Maybe on the Rule 34 site.
On this spot did King Iolcum slay the Phrygian war chief. Turning back the marauders, Iolcum defended the sacred sites of Zeus from harm. The Phrygians were scattered to the seas, never to threaten again.
Welcome.
Do I speak with Mnason, father of Timaeus?
Aye, and Pathros too.
It is only Pathros now. Your son Timaeus is dead.
Dead?
He lost his life in my defense.
I see.
Your son had recently been chosen as our standard bearer. Did the guard deliver his spear? The spear upon which is borne the Iolcan standard.
Aye, it was sent down. Thought I was meant to hold it for Timaeus. My son, he was... Since he was a boy, it was the guard this, the guard that. All he ever wanted was to serve you. Though he no longer lives, that spear may still serve. Please, keep it in his name.
In Timaeus' name, I accept this spear. And let he receive the glory of the work it does.
You do my family honor. Should you see Pathros again, tell him I know he did all he could.
I'll see that Pathros comes to visit you himself.
Holtzhorn Lance. When wielding the spear, Jason takes less damage than normal. He also gains a large bonus to his resistance. Okay. Okay, we have improved all of our arsenal.
That way is Mycenae. 3 weeks voyage with a swift ship.
My father says you're to go home soon.
I miss Mycenae. But there's a part of me that doesn't want to leave.
Will you be back?
Someday.
Alright. Are we ready to go? Any open side quests? No.
Greetings, King Jason. I am the Dockmaster, Nestus. May Athena's 5 virtues be with you always.
You work for Argos?
Yes, sir. I manage the docks and help out with riggings and sails, mainly. I did some work on that pulley system he's put aboard your ship.
Is Argos about?
He's aboard, sir, tending to some final preparations. He mentioned if I saw you to let you know he's ready for your inspection. I can row you out there if you wish.
Not yet.
Not right now, Nestus. Do you follow the Virgin Goddess?
Aye, sir. I make my devotions to Athena. I find her principles help me lead an ordered and disciplined life. That comes in handy when you oversee the motley pack that works these docks.
Athena's wisdom must prove a help when dealing with old Argos.
That it does. But that's not the only province of Athena's rule that I take interest in. Athena is the goddess of justice. In the village, I hear petitions too trivial for your attention. She is also the goddess of crafts, strategy, and military war. All worthy disciplines. Truly, the domains of my goddess form the core of good society.
You mentioned the 5 virtues of Athena. What are they?
Wisdom, justice, courage, discipline, and humility. These are the 5 virtues of a worthy life. I strive each day to achieve these qualities. Some days are harder than others.
Okay, row me to the ship.
Row us out to the ship, Nestus.
Of course, sir.
And that's as far as I've played in the game. So, what we did today, I have played before. Or what we did so far. This is new. I think I got to the ship. I may have talked to this guy. And that's all.
Jason, how are you? My heart broke when I heard what happened.
Colonel Campbell?
This ship was to be a wedding gift. Now it's something else, I suppose.
Perhaps it still will be, Argos. Is she ready to sail?
Aye, she's girded and fit for open waters.
Good. I have her maiden destination. Delphi.
Delphi? What in Hades do you want to go there for?
I have questions that need answers. Answers I can only find on Delphi.
Argonauts, you know the way?
I've sailed most every patch of sea in Greece, but I've never seen the shores of Delphi. Part of me thinks it's just a myth.
There are tales of heroes who've been there.
Aye, and each claims it's in a different place. I'm sorry, Jason. I can't steer you there.
Elias said he would look into it. We should check back with him.
Now what about this Medea woman? She says you told her to come aboard. Nearly scared me half to death. She just walked up behind me in the deck house. No rowboat, no nothing.
It's all right. She'll be coming with us to Delphi.
It's your ship, but you need to see what she's done to her quarters below decks.
Very well, Argos. I will.
It's irregular.
This ship's a sight to see. Let's have the tour.
Certainly. We can start right here. Now, you've already seen her size. She's the biggest ship I've ever made. She's also the fastest, mind you, but we'll get to that. The hull is soft fir wood, light and strong, and resin-coated to keep out the sea. I've made a few modifications to the classic structure to make room for the rowing apparatus, but we've kept a shallow draft in case she needs be beached for repairs. I told you before, this ship can row itself. Come, I'll show you how.
It can row itself? Oh no, I remember I actually went inside the ship. Because it has something that looks like the galaxy map.
Here, Jason. Take a look down here and tell me what you see.
Ropes, pulleys, oars. I've never seen anything like it.
Of course you haven't. No one has. A ship that can row itself. One man, me, to take the place of 200 hunchbacked oarsmen.
How does it work?
It's taken me half a century to answer that question. More time than we have. Come, I'll show you the deck house. If the ore deck is the heart of this ship, then this room is the head. As long as we have a clear view of the stars, we'll never be lost.
Galaxy map.
I can assign destinations to the various constellations, and this ship will remember how to sail there. And once we've set a destination, the ship will maintain our course without a steersman.
Amazing.
Indeed. Now, let's go below.
Galaxy map, right? When I compare this to Mass Effect, I think it's pretty fair.
You'll find no cramped bunks down here. With the automated oars, we have space to live comfortably. Spacious cabins with room enough for all. Here, there's a chamber to store all your equipment. At the prow end. Well, come, I'll show you.
Oh, that looks pretty irregular.
Never had a shrine like this on a ship before. But, as you requested, here it is.
What you've done is wondrous, Argos. I've never seen a finer ship. She has no rival in all of Greece.
I would not boast, but I wouldn't argue with you either. Everything I've ever learned about sailing on the seas, I've put into this ship. There's one thing I'd ask of you in return.
Name it.
Let me sail her for you. I know this ship better than anyone.
She's the work of your hands. I cannot say no. May you steer her well.
Thank you, my king.
It's okay, Colonel.
One more thing. It's only right that you be forever remembered with your masterpiece. So let it bear your name. I hereby name this ship the Argo. Long may she sail the seas.
Jason, you do me too much honor.
You've earned it, Argos.
Thank you, Jason. Now, I'll leave you to have a look around yourself. I'll be above decks if you need me.
That's stuff I need to explore later. Which is my... oh. Which room is mine?
I have finished the runes of warding.
So I see.
They are attuned to you, Jason. Only you can remove them. As long as they remain active, neither I nor my powers can leave this room. However, I can still prove harmful to anything inside these walls.
How did you come to be a Black Tongue?
My father was King Aedes of Colchis. He had no time for daughters, so I was often left to myself. One day, when I was 12, my father decided he would marry me to a neighboring king. My suitor was nearly 60. On our wedding night, I murdered him when he came to my bed. Then I ran. For years, I lived alone, but I vowed never again to be powerless. The Black Tongues found me, and at the time, what they offered was intoxicating.
Power can be that way.
Eventually, I realized there was a price to all things. I had thought I was gaining power, but I was being made a thrall. I was that 12-year-old girl all over again. But this time, it was a titan slipping into my bed. It comes and goes in waves. Perhaps we could speak more later.
Of course.
That took a dark turn. It's a different time. Par for the course for the Greeks. Exactly. It's a different time. Different traditions and customs.
I'd like to know more about the Black Tongues.
Such as?
What motivates the Black Tongues? What do they believe in?
They worship the Titaness Hecate, the dark witch goddess of sorcery and deceit. They refuse to acknowledge the supremacy of the Olympian gods and seek to overthrow them. Through rituals of pain and sacrifice, her followers yield their very spirits to Hecate in exchange for sorcerous powers. They believe that one day Hecate will gain supremacy over both the living world and the underworld. Until then, they obey orders fanatically, believing that they will find a paradise in Tartarus should they die.
Black Tongues wield strange sorcery. Proof of that. What are they capable of?
Hecate's dark powers are formidable. They are nearly all destructive in nature. The Black Tongues use tattoos, blood magic, and rune glyphs to channel Hecate's power. Advanced assassins can even summon monstrous creatures, like the one you saw in the crypt. However, this requires a sacrifice of blood, and so this power is reserved for only the most urgent of missions.
Tell me about how the group is organized.
The Black Tongues are ruled by the secretive Council of Ravens, each of whom is a formidable sorcerer. The exact number of ravens is unknown. They decide the actions of the group and communicate those orders to their subordinates. The lower ranks remain ever ready should a mission be given to them. The Black Tongues seek their recruits from the farthest corners of the world, promising paradise in Tartarus. Their agents live in secrecy, and they can strike anywhere at a moment's notice.
How did the Black Tongues come to be?
Long ago, the Black Tongues carved a path of blood to become the best assassins in Greece. They have spent ages cultivating the arts of poison, stealth, and sorcery. Their numbers are small, and they prefer it that way. Secrecy is what has allowed them to survive for so long. Even Lycomedes himself was unsuccessful when he tried to stamp them out many years ago. They simply receded into the shadows until the danger passed.
I hope you're comfortable here. Let me know if you need anything.
I will.
I couldn't help but notice her boobs are kinda disproportionate, aren't they? Really big. And to the front. Someone went a little overboard with the size of her boobs. She's curvy. I'm curvy.
So, you see what that woman did down there?
It's all right, Argos. It's for our protection.
It's your ship.
Keep the ship ready. We'll go see if Pelaius has learned how to get to Delphi.
Let's... What happened? Well, Xbox is showing a red ring of death. So that's something.